My daughter stopped bringing real food to school, not because she doesn't want to, but because of how the other kids look at her lunch. She used to bring fresh fruit, yogurt, seaweed, actual food that stabilizes her, but now she hides it because being the weird kid eating real stuff feels worse than being hungry. And I realized something watching that happen. We haven't just normalized feeding kids junk. We're actively wiring their nervous systems to expect dysregulation as the default. And then we act shocked when they can't focus, can't sit still, can't regulate their emotions. Hi, I'm Dawn. This is Beyond Optimal. And this is a conversation nobody is having at the school board meeting. Here's what I'm actually seeing. The school sends home a note recently for a teacher's retirement party. They wanted people to donate Rice Krispie treats, Kool-Aid jammers, never even heard of them, Goldfish, Chips Ahoy. That's the celebration. That's what we're telling kids a special moment looks like. Pure sugar, refined carbs, artificial dyes, and seed oils, my favorite topic. And then testing week rolls around, and they ask parents to bring crackers, goldfish, cheese crackers, mini muffins. And then, on top of that, this part really got to me, they said they wanted contributions of Jolly Ranchers, Smarties, and Dum Dums to give each kid a little bag to have on their desk during testing. Right before they sit down to take a test, we are literally spiking their blood sugar and sending them into a crash during the exact moment we need them to focus and perform. And nobody questions it. Nobody raises a hand and says, wait a minute, is this actually helping them? Then there's field trip day. Her permission slip said, food being served will be peanut butter and jelly on white bread, and a fruit cup that's basically corn syrup with some fruit-shaped pieces floating in it, and more goldfish. And recently we had STEM night, the entire evening dedicated to science, creativity, and learning. What do they offer families? Free tickets for processed hot dogs, cotton candy, and ice cream. A night about the future of education powered by the food industry. Every celebration, milestone, and every high-stakes moment, same signal. Good things happen and your blood sugar crashes. Hard things happen, your blood sugar crashes. Learning happens, your blood sugar crashes. We have accidentally but very thoroughly taught children that dysregulation is just what life feels like. When you consistently pair celebration with sugar spikes, when you fuel focus time with refined carbs and candy, when every single school event is sponsored by processed food, you are wiring your kid's nervous system. You're teaching their body that this is normal, this is baseline, this is just how you're supposed to feel. Wired, then crashed, then hungry, then wired again. And then we wonder why they can't sit still in class, why they're melting down at 3 in the afternoon, why they're starving an hour after lunch, why they seem addicted to junk and won't touch anything real. We blame the kids, we blame parenting, we blame screens, but we never look at what's actually going into their bodies, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's not a behavior problem, it's not a willpower problem, it's a wiring problem. Their nervous systems have been taught that dysregulation is the default. And the worst part? The kids who eat real food get mocked for it. My daughter gets looked at sideways for bringing seaweed. She feels weird for eating yogurt. She started hiding her lunch because the social cost of eating real food has become higher than the physical cost of eating junk. Think about that for a second. We have created a culture where a child is embarrassed to eat something that actually supports her body. That's not normal. That's a problem. And the food industry is counting on us not noticing. Her best friend at school thinks that candy is a food group. Because here's the truth. The food industry has literally hijacked every school event. It's so cheap and convenient to partner with these brands to stock snacks, to hand out these little bags of candy, that schools don't even see alternatives anymore. They're not thinking about your kid's blood sugar. They're thinking about what's easiest to distribute and what parent is going to complain least. But here's what actually changes things. You do not have to accept the default. Next time the school asks you to bring Capri Suns and goldfish, ask why. Suggest something different. Bring homemade brownies with coconut sugar, real butter, and eggs. They have a little sweetness, and they actually have some fat and protein, and they won't send your kid into a crash 20 minutes later. Bring string cheese, nuts, carrot sticks with real dip, homemade fruit leather without added sugar, moon cheese, dried fruit paired with seeds or nuts. The principle is simple. No naked carbs. If you're going to bring a carb, pair it with something that has fat or protein. That's what stabilizes blood sugar. That's what keeps kids regulated, focused, and actually able to learn. A carb alone spikes and crashes. A carb paired with fat or protein rises slowly and holds. That's not complicated nutrition science. That's just how the body works. Let your kid be the weird one. Let them bring seaweed and real cheese and a homemade snack. Because here is the signal that sends. Your body matters. Your stability matters. How you feel matters. And that signal repeated over and over is how you wire a kid differently. That's how you build a nervous system that knows what regulation actually feels like. The behavior issues, the attention issues, the weight issues, the emotional meltdowns, they're not character flaws. They are signals. And the signal is this. I've been running on dysregulation for so long, I don't even know what stable feels like anymore. You can change that, not by fighting the school, not by becoming that parent, but by quietly, consistently, deliberately choosing differently. One snack at a time, one lunch at a time, one birthday treat at a time. Don't wire kids for dysfunction. They deserve to know what stability actually feels like. And honestly, so do you. If you want to start understanding the patterns keeping you and your family stuck, head over to the Pattern Analyzer on Beyond Optimal. And I'll see you in the next one.